Hey, welcome to H3 Live. You're here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much.
I have to tell you, I have been doing something nonstop for the last few days, and I wonder if you have too. Watching the Olympics. Like,
Mm.
are you into that? This is a thing,
I
like, I
do
am
like the
so into.
Olympics, and I have watched some for sure.
What is your favorite, like, Winter Olympic sport? Do you have one?
I have two, and it's a
Okay.
tie between curling, which lots of people get into at the Olympics, and it's fun. And the USA won a silver medal yesterday
Right.
in curling, and biathlon, which I think is cool.
Oh, I
You know,
don't
the
think I know.
cross country ski, stop for a bit, shoot at
Oh,
targets, ski
yeah.
for a while more, shoot at more targets. Super fun.
I haven't watched that one before, so maybe I'll put that on my list. I had curling on like all day while I was working when I wasn't like talking with you or
Mhm.
recording or talking to a client. So yeah, that one, they had one woman who was literally like all day long, they're coaching and doing the work. And yeah, it was really incredible. So I don't know. That's one where like, I think it looks easy, but it's not really easy, right? Everybody sitting at home on their couch thinks, what is curling? I could do that, right?
You can't do
But
it.
there is so much, strategy, I think, that goes into that game.
Mhm.
One I was gonna ask you about is, have you been watching the men's figure skating at all?
I have not.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a name, I want you to go watch his performance. It's Ilya Malinin,
Mhm.
and he is Team USA. He is called the quad god because he is the only person that can land 7 quads. Now, he doesn't
Wow.
do it in every performance, but no one on the planet can do this.
Most of us can do what, 4 or 5 only? So
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
4 or
good. 7's good.
5. No, but truly, like, most Olympians can only do, like, 3 or 4, right, at max. So, anyway, he's fun to watch, but I wanted to bring him up because here he is competing against a group of other very great Olympians who can't even come close to doing what he's doing,
Mm.
and it just sort of made me think about, like, how we work and in any job, really.
Mhm.
And it's like you don't often see someone who is that far ahead of even your best performers, right?
Yeah.
Have you
Typically,
ever
no.
I was
Right.
have you ever worked somewhere where there was, like, truly, like, one quad god in your employment?
I'd say the only person that comes to mind, directly was this was an intern of all things, but way, way back
Really?
when, we were working with a guy who was an intern.
Mhm.
And you could tell he was super bright, kind of almost maybe approaching genius level, and he just could do things, and he was a coder, and he could code things that were really smart and incredible, and
Yeah.
he just learned stuff really, really fast. He was probably one of the fastest learners I'd ever been around, and come to find years later, I don't wanna say his name for reasons I could explain to you offline, but come to find later, he became a very successful kind of Silicon Valley person,
Oh,
and
really?
was very well known for some things he invented, some specific
Mhm.
technologies he invented that got into, common use, and, so yeah, incredible. That guy was one of the smartest guys I ever knew. Uh, and the reason I'm not saying his name is he turned out to be kind of a troubled guy for
Oh,
reasons
no.
that we don't need to go into, but, yeah, that was the only time I think, because mostly
Okay.
in typical workplaces, you don't see that, right? You have
Right.
better performers and average performers and low
Yeah.
performers, but you usually don't run across people who are astronomically better performers. I mean, typically,
Yeah.
right?
I'm thinking about it. I thought, like, that is so difficult. I wonder how to keep someone who can perform at that high level motivated even. Because
Yeah.
the fact that you can even think of one, I don't know if I could think of any unless maybe it would be like maybe at PwC, like someone who was so good, not just technically, but also with selling, right? So
Mhm.
if they were one of your top sales partners who could also really, I don't
Yeah.
know. No one even came to mind. So yeah.
That's a good kind of segue into something I wanted to talk about, which
Okay.
is the impact of AI on things like productivity, expertise, perceived
Mhm.
expertise, performance, etcetera. I just did the Workplace Minute this morning, a little bit
Okay.
earlier, and it's out there now, it's published, but I was reporting and commenting a little bit about some news of a recent study, that was done at a big tech company, that was rolling out Gen AI right across the company, making Gen AI tools available to all the workers, et cetera, et cetera. And what they were finding was in this company anyway, um, that AI was making us crazy, right? And by that I
Mhm.
mean people were working more, they were producing more, but work was infringing on their break times, their meal times,
Oh,
their out
wow.
of work times. They uh, managers maybe unbeknownst without explicitly changing metrics and goals and but the expectations had rose, and the example in the
Wow.
report was, let's say there was a typical work product, a report, a summary, presentation, whatever it is. Let's say
Yeah.
it's going to, it normally took 3 hours to produce, right? At an organization or in a group. And now
Yeah.
with incorporating some AI tools and some intelligence and you can do
Mhm.
it in, I don't know, 45 minutes, right? Let's say
Okay.
instead of the 3 hours. Awesome, right? Now we've got this great report, it's done in 40 minutes. And you think, okay, what we talk about always is, well, that's going to allow this person, say if it was one person responsible for the report, to focus on other things, more higher value add things, more creative
Yeah.
things, whatever, right? Maybe
Yeah.
take more of a break, maybe knock off early that day, right? Whatever. And in this particular study, they weren't finding any of that. Right. What they were
Really?
finding was they would just do more things. They would do an additional report. And managers
Mm.
began to expect, well, if we can do one report in the time it used to take to do three, we should be able to do three reports now or different reports, right?
Mhm.
And that kind of thing, and on and on and on. And, certainly the danger of all this is if this goes unchecked and unfettered and this starts to take root in organizations, you'll see, more burnout, more fake expertise, right? Because
Mhm.
one of the other things the study found was, and I'm guilty of this myself, I think from time to time, AI makes you overconfident in areas where you
Uh-huh.
have limited to no expertise, but you're happy to go to an AI tool, which can give you lots of answers and lots of guidance and make you
Yeah.
sound like you know what you're talking about. So what they were finding was instead of a worker, say in department A, really needing to tap on the shoulder of a worker in department B for their expertise in a given area, if they didn't have it,
Mhm.
they would simply just consult an AI and not go do that collaborative cross kind of working, which again could leads to potentially lots of problems. So it's a fascinating study. I covered it on the Workplace Minute. I'd love for you to share your thoughts on it as well. So like because it made me think about it, especially when you talked about this super worker kind of concept,
Mhm.
right? Well, what if AI makes us all that super worker, right? Oh, and then what happens?
Oh, I feel like you've just opened a whole can we're gonna have to explore because you make some good point. First of all, I've never even considered like perceived expertise from AI, so that's interesting to me. Um, wow, as you're saying what the results were, that sounds reasonable though, that now
Yeah,
people are being expected to do more in that same amount of time. And you're right. You said you're potentially guilty of this. Sometimes I am too, right? But and you and I don't even use AI that much, I don't think, comparatively. So, but I have seen people in the wider industry who are suddenly going from very little experience to being experts, right?
mhm,
So that it, I guess it can raise your suspicions maybe if you see someone you know doesn't have that in your own organization or maybe a competing organization and then suddenly they do, right?
yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear then how do we suss that out, right?
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's the terms that's being kicked around now for this concept is the productivity trap or the AI productivity trap, where
Mhm.
the danger is we're going to squeeze workers for more and more output because the tools that they have access to have gotten so much better and gotten so much better like almost overnight, right? Metaphorically
Yeah.
overnight. So super interesting and I think worth listening to. Give the Workplace Minute a listen today if you haven't had a chance. It's on this same YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it there. It was published today.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think the other thing we just recently put out, so for the last few years, we've done 2 years prior, is reports on AI and the questions you should be asking vendors if you're, either your current vendors or if you're looking to hire a new vendor to work with you. And so we just went through this week, in fact, and published it. It's live on h3hr.com. It's the HR Technology Buyer's Guide Critical Signals Vendors Must Demonstrate in AI. So trying to make it a little more manageable, but even to use with your teams as you're training yourselves about what AI is and isn't, and how you can go about using it and what to ask of your vendor community that you work with. I think that it'll be interesting. We talk so much about the tech side of things, but in the next, few months, we should probably also be trying to balance that then with leadership and guidance on how to handle when people are finally, making more productivity steps, but before they reach burnout, because
Mhm.
I think we're guilty of that as well, right? We can get more done, so we get more done. But, to what end? I think you
Yeah.
could really truly have some significant medical issues with people over time or, just having them resign,
Yeah,
right? They
my
just feel
my
like they
last
can't do
thought
it.
on this for now was there was a
Yeah.
great song about 20 years ago that came out, it's by LCD Sound System, Trish. It was called "New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down," right?
Oh, no.
And now I feel like the title of this segment could be "AI, I love you, but you're bringing me down." And I think
Yeah.
that's, it's an interesting we'll be watching this closely all year long,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
trying to manage through it ourselves.
yeah,
Right? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. So
there
maybe
you
it's about
go.
discernment. I'm going to write that down too. We should
Okay,
have more discernment on how we use AI. So
lovely.
anyway, well, I think that's it for now. If you have any need for our 2026 workplace trends, that guide is also live on the website, h3hr.com. And as I mentioned, you can find the AI report and lots of other topics are covered there, free for you and your teams to utilize in self training, or if you just want to brush up on a certain topic that's related to the people side of the business, be sure to check us out. And
Good stuff.
Steve, have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Catch everyone next time.